Hello and welcome. This short video lecture focuses on the format, structure, and contents of proposals and progress reports. Upon completion of this module, students will be able to choose the appropriate report format, memo or letter, based upon audience, and identify the components of the structure of workplace reports. As we have seen in previous lessons, routine workplace correspondence is usually formatted as one of three document types: letters, memos, or emails. Workplace reports follow a similar pattern to correspondence. When we are thinking of short reports, we usually mean reports where the body of the message is up to 10 pages in length, single-spaced. For these reports, we use letter format for external readers and memo format for internal readers. Regardless of which document type you use for a short report, the body of the report simply replaces the message you would include in routine correspondence. The rest of the formatting remains the same. It's important to note that your report might sometimes be 11 pages or longer. These long reports are usually formatted as a booklet. This means it includes a transmittal letter or memo for external or internal readers, a cover, a title page, an abstract, a table of contents, a list of figures, the report body, glossaries, appendices, and other sections as needed. We are not learning to write these longer reports in this course, but you may be asked to contribute to them in the workplace. They are often written by teams rather than by a single author. Let's look at report structure. When we learned about correspondence, we learned that it normally follows a four-part pattern. Reports follow the same pattern. The summary or action opening identifies the purpose of the message or report. The background section provides background information or context the reader needs to make sense of the message or report, or to understand the situation that has led to this communication. The facts section, also sometimes known as the details section, provides relevant information in the most logical sequence to help the reader understand the situation and action required. Based on these facts, your reader will need to make a decision or take action. Facts and details should be clear, specific, relevant, and complete. Finally, the outcome or action closing outlines what should be done. Be direct in this section. Politely request any required action, and remember to thank your reader. Also remember to keep your message or report short, specific, and focused on the topic and the reader's needs. Just as a skeleton provides structure for a human body, your workplace writing needs content built around its structure to be effective. Let's take a look at some content options for proposals. A proposal is a type of workplace report that seeks to persuade your reader to give you, or maybe you and your team, authorization to take on some kind of workplace project or task. Proposals begin with the heading Introduction. This is the summary section of the document's structure. It explains the purpose of the document by summarizing the proposed plan, product, or service, and it aims to convince the reader that there is an unmet need. Next, under the heading Background, provide context by explaining the problem or general situation that has led to this proposal. The facts section of the proposal structure includes four headings: project description, supporting material and author credentials, supporting arguments, and budget. Together, these sections give the reader all the information they need to decide whether to approve the project. Under the heading Project Description, outline your plan, project, product, or service in detail. Identify anticipated results of the proposal. Convince your reader that the expected results make this project worthwhile. Under the heading Supporting Material and Author Credentials, persuade your reader that you are well equipped, both with respect to materials and your qualifications, to complete the proposed project. Identify the resources you plan to use and state whether these are easy to access or are going to be challenging to obtain. Describe your own or your team's credentials and expertise, and convince your reader that you are the best person or team to take on this task. Under the Supporting Arguments heading, show that your plan is feasible. Identify the benefits of the proposed plan. Focus on benefits to your reader. If your reader is your manager, consider showing them what the benefits are for your company's growth. If your reader is your client, emphasize benefits in terms of client satisfaction. Under the Budget heading, remember to establish a plan for budgeting both costs and time. What is the cost breakdown for implementing your plan? How long will it take to implement? Break it down into phases with concrete dates for completion of each phase. Finally, the Outcomes section of the proposal structure uses the heading Authorization. Under this heading, persuasively ask your reader for permission to implement your plan. Remind them of the benefits as a last effort to convince them that your plan is worthwhile. Let's look at a sample of a short workplace proposal. This proposal is formatted as a memo, as it is an internal document from the IT manager to the HR manager at the same company. Subject: Remote Work Training Proposal. Introduction. Our employees recently began working remotely, but many are at a loss as to how to continue working with their usual teams in this new context. I would like to create a series of software training videos to send to employees to help them take full advantage of our corporate IT resources. This will give them the tools they need to succeed in working remotely. Background. Our employees are accustomed to working in the office, and with the shutdown of our corporate offices due to COVID-19 and the sudden move to remote work, many employees have been phoning me to ask if there's some kind of software that will help them to complete tasks usually done in person in a team context. In fact, we already have access to several corporate software solutions for these types of tasks. Our employees have simply not been trained to use these aspects of our software tools. Project description. I would like your permission to create a series of software training videos for the variety of software tools we have access to that can help our employees with the aspects of their jobs traditionally completed in person. The software tools I wish to focus on include Microsoft Teams, organizing and sharing workloads, Microsoft Forms and Excel, collecting and analyzing data, Skype versus Zoom, choosing the right video conferencing tool for your team. These are the software tools that seem most relevant at this moment based on the calls I've had from staff. However, I will be polling employees to find out about their software needs, and I may wish to expand this list in the coming weeks. Supporting material and author credentials. I now have access to all of the resources I need to begin this project. All of the relevant software is installed on my local computer, and I have access to screen capture software that will allow me to record my on-screen actions while providing a recorded voiceover explaining all of the steps. To best explain the team processes, I will need help from two of my team members, Lucas Boone and Katerina Levy, to demonstrate team interactions. They are prepared to model remote workflows with me to record these demonstrations. I have selected Lucas and Katerina to collaborate on this project because both have a background in remote teamwork from prior employment experiences. My own background in remote IT training means I am uniquely qualified to present lessons in a clear, structured manner that is easy to understand even for non-experts. Supporting arguments. Creating a series of instructional videos for using our corporate software tools is the most efficient way to ensure our employees are able to quickly adapt to the remote work environment. These videos can be produced and distributed quickly and will be targeted to focus on the tasks most commonly performed by our employees. Unlike a tutorial, which requires a user to go through all steps of training, our employees can choose which tasks and tools are most relevant for themselves and watch the video only for the software tools they need. They can also re-watch as needed to practice completing specific tasks in their workflows. An additional benefit is that this video series can also serve as an important training tool in onboarding new employees as they are hired in the coming years. Budget. There is only a time and equivalent salary cost associated with this proposed project. I estimate that the recording of the 3 proposed videos will take 1 week. Monday, planning and scripting. Tuesday and Wednesday, recording workflow demonstrations with Lucas and Katerina. Thursday and Friday, editing, adding any additional voiceover components, titles, credits, and uploading. I am prepared to begin working on this on Monday morning with a target completion date of March 27th. Lucas and Katerina are required only for 2 days before they can return to their regular duties. Authorization. Providing our employees with software training videos to help support them in their transition to remote work is the fastest, most effective way to ensure that our organization continues to operate smoothly throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Please approve this proposal to create training videos targeted to the tasks most frequently performed by our employee teams. If you have any questions, please contact me at emmalee@company.ca. Thanks for your consideration. Now let's take a look at some content options for progress reports. Where proposals propose to begin a new project, a progress report provides an overview of the status of an ongoing project. A progress report begins with an introduction that identifies why you are writing and what the project is. This is the summary section of the structure, as it explains the purpose of the document. The next heading of your report should be Project Description. Here you will provide background information, explaining the situation that has led to the report, an overview of the project itself. Students sometimes ask me what the point of this section is, as the writer obviously knows what project they are working on. But keep in mind that you are writing for your reader. Let's say you're writing for a busy project manager with 15 or 20 different projects on the go. They will appreciate a reminder of what you're working on. In this section, describe the project's purpose, scope, and timeline. The section of your report focused on facts and details can follow one of 3 patterns for organizing content. You might use the headings Work Completed, Work in Progress, Work Remaining, and Problems and Solutions. Or, if the project is divided into phases, you might prefer Previous Period, Current Period, and Next Period as headings. If your work consists of getting multiple unrelated tasks done, a progress report that identifies topics or tasks and completion stage for each might be more appropriate. The nature and scope of the project should determine the content of your report. Regardless of the organizational pattern, once you've selected the most appropriate headings, remember to give an accurate, detailed account of what you have done or are working on in each section. Finally, the outcome section of your report should have the heading Conclusion. It should identify whether the project is on schedule and on budget, and politely request any necessary resources. Remember to thank your reader. Let's look at a sample of a short progress report. This progress report is formatted as a memo, as it is an internal document from the IT manager to the HR manager at the same company. Subject: Training Video Progress. Introduction: This is a quick status update on the IT department's project to create software training videos to help employees adapt to the new remote work environment. Project Description: On March 20th, 2020, you approved my proposal to create a series of software training videos covering Microsoft Teams, organizing and sharing workloads, Microsoft Forms and Excel, collecting and analyzing data, Skype versus Zoom, choosing the right video conferencing tool for your team. These training videos are intended to focus on the tasks most commonly performed by our employee teams, allowing them to continue working effectively even though they are all working from remote locations. The project has a target completion date of Friday, March 27, 2020. Work completed. Completed planning and scripting of video training. Completed filming demonstrations for Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Forms, and Excel. Completed recording of VoiceOver for Microsoft Teams. Work in progress. Editing Microsoft Teams, adding titles and captions. Work remaining. Upload Microsoft Teams video. VoiceOver editing and upload for Microsoft Forms and Excel. Record Skype versus Zoom demonstrations in VoiceOver. Complete editing and upload. Problems and solutions. Because of a surge of calls from employees requiring technical support, Lucas and Katerina were not available for filming for full days on Tuesday and today. Lucas and Katerina will be needed again for part of tomorrow and possibly Friday to complete the filming. I was able to restructure the production schedule by starting editing early for clips that were already recorded. And we are tracking the hours Lucas and Katerina are spending on this project versus their other duties to ensure that we do not exceed the 16 hours they were approved for. Conclusion. I am on track to complete the training videos on schedule and on budget, provided that there are no further delays or staffing conflicts. Please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks. This brief report gives the reader a complete overview of where this project is and what changes have been necessary to accommodate setbacks. It is also reassuring as it emphasizes that despite these changes, the project is expected to be completed on time. In this lesson, we learned that workplace reports have formatting and structure similar to workplace correspondence. Some key differences are that workplace reports can be longer and formatted as a booklet, and that workplace reports use a system of headings to organize content, where correspondence usually does not. We also looked at two specific types of workplace reports, the proposal and the progress report. In comparing these, we can see that workplace reports are very targeted to their context. They emerge out of specific business needs and situations. They can be informational and/or persuasive. You can now return to our online module for more learning activities related to writing reports.